All right, 3 o'clock. Good to have you. We covered the Red Wings pre-draft press conference hour 1. We have the Pistons press conference live for you at some point this hour. Should be more towards 4 than 3:30. We'll have it for you. But Rico has a topic in the lead up to that, and this is all you. I am going to listen and attempt to answer this to the best of my abilities.
No, Mike, it kind of goes to, I was listening this morning to our good friend Jim Costa, and it was an interesting topic of looking at the state of the teams right here, right now. We talk about the Pistons and how they've kind of hit rock bottom. Not kind of, they are. They had the worst record a league, 14 wins last year. That was it. You fired the coach. You're kind of brooming out everything. You don't know if you even have a core to the team. And then you look at the Tigers, that we're still trying to figure out who the core is. We've talked about them ad nauseum this summer of, who's going to be the young guys that come up, because it seems like every guy has not panned out the way that they thought they were going to pan out. So it's just a very simple question. When you look at the state of the team, state of the Tigers, state of the Pistons. Tigers' last playoff win was 2013. Pistons' last playoff win, I believe, was 2008. Of the two teams, who gets out of their quagmire first? Who fixes the problem and actually becomes a legitimate playoff team first? Because the Tigers have the head start. The Pistons are starting over. The Tigers, in essence, have pieces in play. But when you look at I think it's the Pistons, because the Pistons, as bad as we talk about, they have the money to spend. So do the Tigers. But if you're in the NBA, if you can get 2 players, possibly 3, you could flip it around. Whereas the Tigers, you need a lot more than just 2 or 3 players in order to turn a team around. So the question is, between the Tigers and the Pistons, who turns this around? Because both are kind of at the bottom right now. 248-539-9797.
I hate you. Oh, my God. This is awful. Yeah, I guess if you just say, 2 or 3 players, how do you get them? I mean, the Pistons aren't picking number 1. Nobody wants their money. I mean, if early indications are out there that, like, Malik Monk took a dirt cheap deal to just stay in Sacramento instead of even bothering to take probably $25 million more from the Pistons.
Both have the money to spend.
Yeah, I know. I'll still say the Tigers. I think the Pistons are hopeless as long as Tom Gores owns them. 6 coaches in 13 years, haven't won a single playoff game under his reign. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have talent. I don't know that Cade's an all-NBA guy. I don't know. Somebody help me. This is depressing. I'll say the Tigers.
It is very depressing.
This is awful.
No, but it's just one of those, because the Pistons are holding their press conference today, and you're looking at them. Mike, I think the fact that we don't know, but I'm assuming that Trajan Langdon has said, guys, we're at rock bottom. Yeah, we have nowhere to go but up.
They're going to be a dumping ground this summer.
I don't know. There still may be another, and I know people don't want to hear this, another reboot of the Tigers again, where the Pistons are already there. Even though the Tigers have player in motion and they got people in the minors that we're waiting to see in a few years, I don't know, because
I'll say Texas.
You'll say Texas.
No, with your premise that 2 or 3 players, I have to believe that trading Cade gets you the assets to restart this thing the right way.
Not happening.
Whether it's draft picks, whether it's players. So I'm going to go Pistons here.
You know how you're going to get your draft picks? By being a dumping ground for garbage contracts. I hope you're ready. That's what this cap room's going to do. I hope I'm wrong.
See, I look at trading Cade much like trading Scooble. Sounds great on paper, sounds great on the radio, but in essence, I don't think either one is going to happen. I think you're going to try to keep both players. I just think that it'll be an easier rebuild for the Pistons than it will be for the Tigers.
Yeah, I think the problem is you don't have a star. Like, look at the NBA, Rico. There's so many teams that have a really good player that still blow. Like, I don't know how we elevate. Like, at least with the Tigers, like, all right, they got pitching. Mm-hmm. If I have pitching, I can. This is depressing. Thank you for this.
Because here's the thing. For the Pistons, I don't want to blame one person, but I am starting to think maybe Monty was just a horrible fit. And no one got better. No one developed. And with a new coach, new philosophy, new way of seeing things, new way of doing things, that maybe this team wasn't a 14-win team. Maybe it was just the worst case scenario. Everything fell into place.
Fine, they were a 24-win team. What the hell's the difference?
What I'm saying is, Mike, there may be talent on the team that just never got developed. That there may be pieces that just, I mean, he held on to Killian Hayes until finally people were just like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you playing this guy? So I look at that, and then, you look at the pieces that the Tigers have, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, they do have the most important piece of pitching.
They do.
If they got a couple of bats, I could see it be good enough to make the playoffs. Right, this is about making the playoffs, right?
Yeah, Mount making the playoffs.
I'll go Tigers. I just feel like the Pistons have the worst owner in professional sports. I feel like the factions, the politics, the craziness, they're not a coherent organization. And when I look at talent procurement in the NBA, we're seeing how it can play out. You either draft number one and you get a guy like Wemby,
right?
Or you got to go through what's called the churn. You got to do what OKC's done and get 38 first-round picks. You got to do what Utah's doing. You got to do what Numbnuts. Oh, my God. Like the Spurs have all the picks, plus they have Wemby. But, Rico, I don't even know where it begins. Like, think about if they do make this Brandon Ingram type move. You're just going to sit there in the middle. People, what do you have to say?
But if you're sitting there in the middle, didn't you just make the playoffs?
I don't know.
Yeah, they only have to win 36 games to make the play-in.
22 more games than last year.
I understand what that is, but I truly believe the reset of trading Cade gets you the assets you need.
They're not doing it. David.
Yes, let's just go into the assumption that Cade and Skubal will be Tigers and Pistons.
David, they're not doing it.
Well, then I'm going
Tigers.
Texas again.
No, you go Tigers with me because the rotation, even if they deal Flaherty, for the future, you got Skubal, you got Olsen. Mize can be the number 5. You call up Jackson Jobe. Chris Fetter and Scott Harris done a great job finding pitchers. They'll have pitching.
See, I'm going to go Pistons because even though he has wasted a lot of his money, Gore's a show. He'll spend money to get people here. He will spend the money. It may not be the best draft pick. I mean, it may not be the best free agent signings. It may not be the best coaching hires. But this man is not adverse to saying, you know what? Fine, I'll pay for that. I'll buy this. I'll get this. Whereas with the Tigers, they have the money, but they're saving it like it's, they're getting ready to buy a house. And they don't want to ruin their credit. And it's just like, okay, you can go out there and spend. There's no salary cap in baseball, but they're acting as if there is. Whereas with the Pistons and Gore's, say what you want, he'll at least spend money. Now, it may be a bad signing, but he's not adverse to trying to improve the team.
So, guy's clueless, but he'll spend to try to make up for his cluelessness. That's the sales pitch.
He'll spend. And, Mike, at this point,
that makes me want to hit myself.
Nobody said this was a fun question, Mike. This is awful. I hate this.
I didn't ask the question. This man attacked our Friday.
I didn't attack the Friday. It's just the Pistons are getting ready to have their press conference. We'll have it here.
I'm in the 1901 society.
And it just got me to thinking, between the two teams, which one gets out of the bad situation first? I heard Cookies talking about it driving this morning. I'm like, wow, that's really good topic.
We need your help. 248-539-9797. We will carry the Pistons press conference live. Gores will speak. I can't wait for that. And yes, we'll get to hear from Trajan Langdon. And I would like to know, on a side note, as we walk up to the press conference, what is the one thing you want to hear from Gores or Langdon today? I can tell you one thing. If I ask for anything more than that, Rico will make fun of me like he did before the show. I'll ask for one thing.
Brother, you were on a roll.
248.
You were spicy today.
When it involves the Pistons and Tom Gores, yes. Yes.
No, okay, can you just take your personal feelings out of this and really just look at this? Tigers, Pistons. Nameless, faceless owner.
Yeah.
who gets out of this bad situation first? I do believe it's the Pistons because he'll spend money.
Man, he keeps going back to that. So basically, it's Brewster's million.
No, because
Richard Pryor spent money.
What did we talk about in the offseason? Hey, Tigers, will you at least go out and attempt to bring in some of these players? Nah,
they promised me Chris will spend.
And did he?
I'm still waiting.
One guy promises, the other guy does. Now, he's out there buying, crypto that doesn't exist, but he's at least trying.
Monty Williams was actually an NFT coin, not a real person. 248-539-9797. We'll get with the people. Pistons presser in about 30 minutes live. We'll have it. Rieger's down there. And all jokes aside, eager to hear from Goris and Trajan Langdon. And I'm really hoping we can walk out of this going, okay, we have a direction. Or it's a clown car.
And maybe
I don't know.
I may be giving Trajan the benefit of the doubt early. He's in a situation where he can hit the reboot.